In a time far from the Buddha's passing, when his words had spread across lands and oceans, there arose many who wore the saffron robe. To the untrained eye, they appeared serene, heads shaven, voices calm, scriptures always close at hand. Villagers bowed, students listened, offerings were given, but not all robes were worn by those who had walked the path. The Buddha had once warned that in the later age, there would be monks who taught before they had realized, who spoke of liberation without having subdued their own craving, and who used the Dharma as ornament rather than medicine. These were not enemies of the teachings by name, but by misuse. In one such village lived a monk who spoke beautifully of emptiness. He explained non-attachment while quietly hoarding praise. He spoke of compassion while resenting correction. He taught meditation as a technique, not as a mirror. His students felt calm, but not changed. Inspired, but not freed. When questioned, he replied with clever words rather than silence. When challenged, he quoted sutras rather than examined himself. His robe was clean, but his conduct was untested. Nearby lived an old practitioner who wore plain clothes and spoke little. He swept the temple steps, listened more than he taught, and never claimed attainment. When asked about enlightenment, he said, "I am still learning how not to lie to myself." Over time, confusion spread. Students began to believe that reciting truth was the same as realizing it, that authority came from robes rather than restraint, and that confidence was proof of awakening. The Dharma became performance. The path became an identity. This is how harm quietly enters the Sangha, not through open hostility, but through premature teaching, unearned certainty, and the hunger to be seen as realized. The Buddha did not warn of evil monks who carried swords. He warned of monks who carried words without wisdom, status without discipline, and robes without humility. Such monks may gather followers, but they scatter insight. They may inspire devotion, but they delay liberation. The warning is not against monks, but against self-deception, not against teaching, but against teaching beyond one's ground. For the true measure of the path is not how much one explains, but how little craving remains when no one is watching. And in the end, the Dharma does not ask who wears the robe. It asks who has laid down the self.